Hi everyone, great to see everyone here. So today, I'm going to talk to you about how you can use AI to improve customer service by helping your customer service agents respond to email queries. Now, before I begin my presentation, think about this. Have you had a chance whereby you went on vacation, you come back, and you find that your mailbox is full of emails, and then you're secretly thinking to yourself, what do I do about it? Can I get an AI assistant to help me reply those emails? Now think about a customer service agent at your contact center. They often receive hundreds of emails in a day, and it's often difficult for them to reply those emails one by one. But if they do not respond to customer queries over the email on time, it will affect the customer experience. So hence, I believe that's why you're here today. Now, first, I'll get started by sharing with you the common use cases that we have seen public sector agencies using AWS AI services to improve customer experience. Then, Raymond, my co-presenter from Singapore Ministry of Manpower, also known as MOM, will bring you through by sharing with you the challenges that MOM face and what are they doing to help their customer service agent improve the customer experience. Then, Sylvester will share a bit more details on the design and architecture of this solution and how we're going to improve upon it further, because this is a journey that MOM is partnering with AWS. Then we'll do a wrap-up. We'll share with you how can you find out more. So by the end of this, I hope that you can learn more, go back to your agency, and be an expert in this area to innovate further. Now, I want to impress upon you the importance of creating a great customer experience. According to a research by McKinsey on customer experience in the government, dissatisfied customers are 2 times more likely to express their dissatisfaction publicly, like on social media, and this is bad for your organization. On the contrary, if you can create a good customer experience, satisfied customers are 9 times more likely to agree on your agency's mission. And correspondingly, they are 9 times more likely to trust what your agency is doing for them. Therefore, from the get-go, it's important you start off trying to create a good customer experience. Now that I've seen the importance of creating a good customer experience, let me share with you the common use cases that we are seeing in public sector agencies using our AI services. The most common use case we have seen is for public sector agencies to deploy chatbots to enable their customers to do self-service. Sharing a personal story of mine, in the past, I didn't really like chatbots. Why? Because I find that they are not able to give me the answers that I really wanted. So when I have an issue, I'll pick up the phone, I'll be calling the customer service agent and asking them for their attention to address my issue. But now, the situation is different. Why is it so? Generative AI has transformed the way chatbots are being built. At Amazon, Amazon Bedrock allows you to consume large language models as APIs. You can take these APIs and integrate with your chatbot engine, such as Amazon Lex, to create really intelligent, human-like chatbots to help your customers find answers to their questions effectively. And going hand in hand with chatbot, we often find semantic search. This is because chatbots are often powered by a good search engine behind the scene. If you have lots of documents lying in various sources, such as SharePoint, OneDrive, etc., finding an accurate answer requires you to build a semantic search using engines such as Amazon Kendra. Next, nowadays, customers are definitely becoming more demanding, and they will want a personalized experience. Amazon Retail has spent over 20 years building recommender systems, integrating the personalized recommendations into the customer's purchasing experience. Amazon Personalized incorporates those learnings over the years and allows customers like you to build a recommendation model with little or no machine learning experience. Now, over at the contact center, real-time agent access powered by generative AI is here to help your customer service agent find answers to customer queries without waiting. You can do it in real time. You have ever seen public sector agencies trying to build building a 360 view of their customers so they know them better. For the analytics visualization dashboard, they are using Amazon QuickSight. And for the machine learning capabilities, they are using Amazon SageMaker. Now, let me go on to the last use case where we have seen public sector agencies looking to automate the decision-making by building models. These models are built using AWS serverless tech stack and AI/ML services. The benefit of having these models is now you can help your customers to find answers and resolution to their issues without waiting days or weeks. So now that you have seen the use cases of how public sector agencies are using AWS AI services, keep this in your mind. Because later in this presentation itself, as we go through the solution, these use cases will also be addressed as part of the solution. Now, let us go back to the question that we're trying to answer. How can we find an answer hidden inside the terabytes of data that you have to answer the customer's query? Our approach is to integrate the power of information retrieval systems such as semantic search with large language models. Semantic search is able to identify text containing the answers to customer questions, and then semantic search will pass this text over to the large language model. The large language model will understand this text to return a precise answer back to customer to answer the question. We call this technique retrieval augmented generation. This technique is better than just using large language model by itself, and I'll explain further. Large language models are good at generating text, and they can answer questions based on what they know. Out of the box, large language models could have been trained using data that's about 2 years old. So to answer questions today for your customers, you need to first train these models. It requires a lot of time and resources before you can deploy it to production. Instead, using retrieval augmented generation, you just need to update the search index for the semantic search, and you're good to go. This is definitely much easier. So now that we have heard about our approach to the solution, let me pass over to Raymond, who will share with you MOM's experience on using AI to improve the customer experience.
Thank you, Ting Yan. This is Raymond from MOM. I'm here to share with you the problem statements that we face on how we use this problem statement and opportunities that AI and ML give us to test out and do a successful POC to improve customer service using these two emerging technologies. So we have a problem now. I'm an IT person. I'm supporting WorkPass division, issuing WorkPass to the WorkPass holder. And every month, the customer officer receives 15,000 of email every month. And many of the emails are asking common and familiar questions. For example, like what is the WorkPass process? Or what's the criteria for employment pass? So with this huge amount of emails, each officer takes about 5 to 10 minutes to reply. So this amounts to 1,250 to 2,500 resource hours per month, which is equivalent for one full-time employee working for 1 year, just replying those emails. So this situation is not ideal. Besides the cost and manpower used, it has 3 problems. One, the officer may not be able to read through all the emails. So they might just replying email with mundane templates, but they lost sight of the email that need genuine reply and attention. Secondly, the officer, day in, day out, they're replying similar email every day. What is their job satisfaction? Maybe very low. Number 3, customer may not get a timely reply because the sheer amount of email, they have to wait for officers to read through email one by one and reply them. So my question is, how might we leverage on AI and machine learning to help officers to reply email more efficiently so that to improve the customer experience? So ideally, there should be 4 key ingredients of the project that help officer and help customers to have a better experience. First of all, we need automated sentiment analysis. Why is it important? Okay, so it makes use of natural language processing that's able to tell whether an email is negative emotion or positive emotion. So the officer can filter and find out, okay, this is negative. To prevent further escalation, I better spend more time and attend to the problem first. Second, officer might need something like automated email classification. With this amount of email, the email intent is not that clearly known, right? Some people write super long email. So this automated email classification, again, make use of NLP and machine learning, is able to tag the email into known categories so that officer can pick up, oh, okay, this is about work pass application, so that the officer can understand the customer's intent and find out what is important to address the question. Third, an ideal product should contain this automated reply generation. As I talked about earlier, 15,000 email, many of which are asking FAQ questions, right? So an ideal situation is that when the email comes in with commonly asked question, the machine learning or the model should be intelligent enough to recommend reply to the officer. So instead of coming up with answers by himself, the officer can just review what is recommended by the engine and click send to the customer. Lastly, semantic search. People tend to write a long email. So an ideal product should contain semantic search, which picks out the keywords of the email and sieve out and find out relevant information so that officer can refer to common articles or a knowledge base to reply the email more efficiently and accurately. So we embarked this POC with a strong team with MOM, AWS, and solution partner XRail that deliver a successful POC. So I would like to let you know the key factors for the POC success. First of all, agility. By making use of ready-made managed services, AI ML services, we are able to bootstrap and kickstart the project within a few days, and we completed the prototype within a few months. So traditionally, we have to hire a team of data scientists or data engineer. Assembling the team, onboarding them is already a few months, right? So instead of finishing the POC within a few years, this allows us to complete the POC within a few months. It allows us to pivot and test new ideas really quickly. Second, bonus. Along the way, we face a lot of difficulties. Some are technical challenges. Some email come in with different topics and different keywords. I appreciate the bonus that we have with the team so that we all have strong commitment from both AWS side and also solution partner, not deterred by technical challenges, but we actually take measure risks, try out new solution, and test it so that the POC can deliver successfully. Last but not least, we also tap on a whole wealth of expertise from AWS. There are so many different ingredients that I talk about, right? These 4 ingredients. How does each ingredient work with one another? How do we put together a secure and resilient architecture that can reply email? How do we design architecture that complies with data governance? So AWS and XRail give us the wealth of experience to actually host it in GCC and whatnot to make sure that the solution is not only operationalizable, but it's also maintainable and resilient. So while it is still in proof of concept stage, these are some of the ideal outcomes that when this solution is deployed to production. First of all, it saves about 2,000 resource hours per month. As I talked about, right? Many of the emails are actually repeated. So by automating and suggesting replies for those emails, officer can save about 2,000 hours a month. So instead of spending time replying common questions with limited job satisfaction, they can spend the time to do more innovative things or attend to more genuine questions. We also find out that the model that we come up with is quite accurate. So it achieved 80% of accuracy to detect the emails classification, the topic and intent, and also it was able to craft and draft about 80% of the email that's coming in. Lastly, I talk about the POC was completed in a few months. Basically, it gives confidence that this method does work and does help to improve customer satisfaction. And all the more, it also gives us some assurance that further investment in AI and ML, for example, the chatbot, generative AI that Qing Yan has talked about, right, would be able to help us to quickly test and validate and also deploy to production to improve customer satisfaction. So without further ado, I pass my time to Kelvester. He will deep dive in some of the solutions that we use in this POC and hope you can benefit from it.
Thanks, Raymond, for the fascinating sharings. Now, hi everyone. My name is Kylvester. I'm the Partner Solution Architect for Singapore Public Sector. And for my section, I will go through with you about the solution overview, and let's have a look of the architecture behind the scenes. Geek time. So, Raymond talked about the secret ingredients of the success of this POC, right? First of all, when we look at automated sentiment analysis, this is where you ask a question like, what is the sentiment of the user from the incoming email? And this is where Amazon Comprehend Insights can come into picture. It is a natural language processing service that uses machine learning algorithms to analyze text and extract the insight, such as sentiment, entity, key phrases, and more. So with sentiment analysis capability, this can help agency to accurately detect the sentiment, for example, positive, negative, neutral, or mixed. So one of the advantages of using Amazon Comprehend Insight is it came with pre-trained and doesn't require any additional training. This means that agency can use this service right away without the need of any special expertise or training data. Next, when we look at automated email classification and also automated email drafting, this is where you want to ask what is the intent or the key question inside the email. Which email you can respond automatically, and which of the email you need to loop in human for review. You need out-of-the-box natural language processing capabilities that help you to recognize entity types and also perform classification that's unique to your business. Amazon Comprehend Custom Classifier can help businesses to train their own custom classifier models that are unique for specific use cases. For example, you have an industry-specific language or specialized domain without any extensive machine learning expertise. Lastly, when we look at advanced search, this is where you want to understand the domain and the context of the questions and find out what is the correct answer. So Amazon Kendra is an intelligent search service that uses natural language understanding, processing, and also advanced search algorithm to provide highly accurate and personalized search results. It goes beyond traditional search by understanding the context of the questions and use the machine learning to improve the search results over the time. It provides more than 100 built-in and partner connectors to help you easily index from different data sources. With Amazon Kendra, organizations can save time, increase productivity, and make better decisions by finding the information they need faster and efficiently. Now, let's have a look of the backend of this system, right? How the backend is actually processing all the incoming emails. First of all, we have an AWS Lambda function that is triggered by Amazon Event Bridge every 5 minutes. So this function will extract and aggregate the emails all the way from the email servers, encrypts, and store into Amazon DynamoDB. With Amazon DynamoDB streams, another AWS Lambda function will automatically react to the new records. Batching window is configured so that it can avoid invoking of the Lambda function with a small amount numbers of records. This function will then call Amazon Comprehend Insight, the sentiment analysis API, to analyze multiple emails asynchronously and return the overall sentiment in text. Also, with the automated email classification by Amazon Comprehend Custom Classifier, it can help to understand the intent or the key questions inside all the emails. All the valuable insight will then store back to the Amazon DynamoDB tables. Amazon Athena will query the transformed data, and all the analysis, report, dashboards will be shown in Amazon QuickSight. This analysis including visual type, for example, word cloud, or phrase frequency to help agency understand the trends of the incoming emails. For the front end is the Agent Intelligence Portal. This portal is built on cloud-native principles which perform at scale. It provides cost-effective and it is an automated solution. Amazon S3 is configured to store all the static resources for the front end, and Amazon CloudFront will speed up the distribution of the content via the low latency network. After the agents are authenticated by Amazon Cognito, the JSON Web Token will receive back to use to authenticate the GraphQL-based API that is built with AWS AppSync. By leveraging AWS AppSync resolvers, the direct mapping are created between the APIs and the DynamoDB. AWS AppSync exposes a single endpoint without needing to worry about servers or your complex backend abstraction. When the agent shift started, they might start to review the email with higher prioritization. For example, email with unhappy sentiment. This is where Amazon OpenSearch can come into picture. So Amazon OpenSearch offers a keyword queries for the tabular data that's stored in the DynamoDB. So user can start to search keywords, for example, email sender or the topics, right? Sorting the email and optimize the table application in the front-end portal via Amazon OpenSearch. Lastly, there is an Amazon Kendra that will provide the suggested reply for the overall solutions. So there is an automated suggested reply that will return to the templated reply that going to send to the customer coming into these solutions. So Amazon Kendra will automatically work with Lambda, understand the key question and the intent inside all the emails, provided suggested reply, and all the templated reply can attach with the suggested reply and return to the customer queries. Now, after integrating the email batch, the backend, and the front-end agent intelligence portal, this is how the full solutions of agent intelligence portal looks like. This agent intelligence portal helps organizations to help drive operational excellence by improving the productivity of the customer service agents. It can improve the customer satisfaction and the experience by reducing the lead time to respond to the customer queries. This solution embraces AWS artificial intelligence and other managed services that feature automatic scaling, built-in high availability, and pay-per-use billing model to increase the agility and optimize the cost in the same time. Even better, our partner, Xtrail, has templatized this entire solution into infrastructure as code as part of the collaboration with AWS. What it means? It means that it can be quickly deployed into your AWS account. This improves the speed and agility to support the new initiative and respond faster to the need of your contact center. On our subsequent discussion with MOM, with the current semantic search that we already built on Amazon Kendra, we are exploring retrievable augmented generation using fully managed AI services in AWS, as you can see in the right-hand side. So this architecture allows large language model bypassing the retraining step, assessing and drawing the up-to-date information on Amazon Kendra, and then using a foundation model in Amazon Bedrock to output the results. This confluence makes future large language model more adaptive by removing the training overhead. Also, with the contextual documents that's purely on internal data sources, it can eliminate the hallucination on the output. Side note, this screenshot, this video that you see on the left-hand side is not the hard-code one. It's an actual prototype that we built on the large language model. Yeah. On our next step, in the collaboration with MOM, beside the previous example that I shared, augment the reply with the large language model, and also easily to host it with Amazon Bedrock with the flexibility to try and experiment multiple different large language models. We are also looking at how may we use AWS AI services, for example, Amazon Comprehend and Amazon QuickSight to analyze the data and gain actionable insight to help MOM make informed decisions. As a regulator of labor practice and employment matters, right, MOM is responsible for identifying and investigating fraudulent activity in the labor market. So by using AWS AI services, for example, fraud detector, it could automate the process of detect fraudulent activity and also do the scam reporting in the same time. So if you are inspired to the MOM works with AWS, AWS Skill Builder is the place for you to learn and scale your impact. Come and join us with the millions of learning with AWS training and certification and accelerate your impact. Visit Skill Builder, that one you can see over here, our online center, and explore more than 600 plus free digital courses, hands-on labs, and also role-based games. You can access it online anytime at your own pace, learn what you want, when you want, and when you need it. I hope this section was insightful. You can follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and continue our conversations. Lastly, on behalf of Ching Yan, Raymond, and AWS, I would like to thank you. And before we end, I would like to get your feedback on this breakout section. Your input will be helping us to improve our upcoming Summit section. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you in the next AWS Summit. Thank you.